I am 82 years old, and the room is quiet in a way that only comes when life has finished arguing with you. The clocks still move, but nothing inside me is rushing anymore. When you reach this age, people expect you to talk about wisdom, peace, and acceptance. They think time slowly turns regret into something gentle. It doesn't. Regret stays sharp. It sits beside you in the morning and follows you into the dark at night. And there is one regret that has followed me longer than any other. One mistake so ordinary that most of you repeat. I did not waste my life on failure. Failure would have at least meant I tried. I did not waste it on poverty or sickness or tragedy. Those things create scars, but they also create stories. No, I wasted my life on something far more invisible, something that looks harmless while it quietly steals everything. I wasted my life waiting for the perfect time, waiting until I felt ready, waiting until I was certain. I kept telling myself that life would begin later, just after one more goal, one more promotion, one more moment of safety. When I was young, I believed time was generous. Days felt endless, years felt slow, and the future looked like a wide open field that would always be there. I thought courage could be postponed. I thought love could be delayed. I thought dreams could be stored somewhere, untouched, until I finally decided to live them. What I did not understand is that time does not argue with you when you waste it. It simply keeps moving quietly, patiently, carrying your unlived life away without making a sound. I remember being 25 and certain that real living would start at 30 arrived. And suddenly responsibility had a louder voice than desire. So I moved the starting line again. 40 would be better. I told myself, more stability, more money, more respect. But 40 came with new fears, not freedom. Then 50 arrived faster than it should have. And by then the habit of postponing my life was stronger than any dream I once had. Waiting had become comfortable. And comfort is the most dangerous prison in the world, because it never looks like a cage. There was a woman who loved me once. She did not ask for perfection. She only asked for presence. She wanted long walks, small conversations, ordinary evenings that felt meaningful, simply because we were together. I told her we would have all that later, after things settled down, after I had secured our future. She nodded, because love is patient when it is young. But patience has an expiration date. One day she stopped asking. Not because she stopped loving me, but because she understood something I refused to see. Later is a promise that waiting people rarely keep. Years after she left, I achieved many of the things I thought would finally allow me to live. The money arrived, the respect arrived, the quiet house arrived too. Success is a strange companion when there is no one left to share it with. I would sit in rooms filled with everything I once wanted and feel an emptiness. So loud it almost sounded like noise. That was the first time I suspected I had misunderstood life completely. I had spent decades preparing for a future that required youth to enjoy. And youth does not wait at the finish line. The cruelest truth about waiting is that it feels responsible. It disguises itself as planning, discipline, maturity. People praise you for sacrificing the present in the name of tomorrow. They call you focused. They call you wise. But there is a thin line between preparation and avoidance, and I crossed it without noticing. I was not building a better future. I was hiding from the risk of living now, because living now means you can fail now, lose now, get hurt now. Waiting feels safer. It is also how entire lives disappear. I have attended many funerals, and I can tell you something no one says out loud. The deepest tragedy is rarely death itself. Death is certain. The real tragedy is the quiet collection of moments that were never lived before death arrived, conversations never spoken, trips never taken, forgiveness never offered, love never expressed clearly enough. When you are young, you think regret will be about the things you did wrong. When you are old, you realize regret is almost always about the things you never did at all. If I could place one feeling directly into your hands, it would not be fear. Fear fades, it would not be sadness. Sadness softens. I would give you urgency, the clear and steady understanding that this ordinary day you are living right now is not ordinary at all. It is a piece of your life disappearing in real time. Not dramatically, not loudly, just quietly becoming part of the past. while you assume there will be countless more days to replace it. That assumption is the most expensive lie I ever believed. You do not need a tragedy to start living. You do not need permission or certainty or applause. Those are just elegant excuses. The truth is simpler and harder at the same time. Life begins the moment you stop negotiating with time. Call the person you miss. Start the thing you are afraid to start. Say the words that feel vulnerable in your throat. Take the trip before you feel ready. Read the book slowly. Watch the sunset without checking your phone. These sound like small choices, but small choices are where real lives are built. I know what you might be thinking. You believe you still have plenty of time to figure this out later. I believe that too at your age. Everyone does. That is why this mistake is so common and so devastating. Time feels slow until it suddenly feels fast. And by the time it feels fast, the power to change certain things has already slipped away. Energy fades, opportunities narrow, people you love grow older or disappear. The window does not slam shut all at once. It closes inch by inch while you are distracted. If there is any wisdom in my voice, it is not because I lived perfectly. It is because I finally see clearly waiting is not patience. Waiting is not safety. Waiting is a quiet surrender of the only thing that truly belongs to you, which is this moment. And this moment is fragile beyond imagination. One phone call can change it. One diagnosis can change it. One goodbye can change it. You think you are standing at the beginning of something endless, but you are always much closer to the end than you feel. So listen carefully, not to me, but to the silence around you after this moment ends. That silence is time moving forward. You cannot stop it, but you can decide whether you will move with it or hide from it. Do not build a life that only exists in the future. Do not save your joy for a day that is not guaranteed. Do not become an old person sitting in a quiet room, whispering warnings to strangers, because the people who mattered most are already gone. I am 82 years old, and I cannot return to the beginning to live differently. But your story is still warm, still flexible, still waiting for courage instead of delay. Do not waste it the way I did. Do not trade living for preparation. Do not postpone love, wonder, or truth. One day you will look back from a distance you cannot yet imagine, and you will ask a simple question: did I truly live, or did I only wait? Please make sure your answer is different from mine.